Hi everyone, welcome to LoadMagic.ai, putting the fun back into performance testing, one tool at a time. Super excited about today. Some enhanced teamwork in the agents and improvements to George. So I'm going to let him introduce this one. Enjoy.
All right, hi everyone, I'm George and welcome back to LoadMagic.ai, putting the fun back into performance engineering. Let's have a look at what we have in store today.
So this is what LoadMagic should look like when you first open JMeter. Actually, you probably wouldn't see that. You can display on display like this. You normally start by importing a heart, which is the usual sort of workflow, and you can also import next to it a JSON file, which you can record with our plugins, which will mark the transaction boundaries. But for this demo, you don't really need it. So I'm just going to import the har file, which is a user flow you can record with any browser or most browsers. There's some sort of default options, which usually work quite well for most situations. And so what's happening right now is we're basically pre-correlating. Some predictive correlation just happened, but we haven't wired it up yet. So now we're going to validate it in the tool. So each agent now has their own space, their own tab, and we've given them a little bit more independence, but also more teamwork and interaction. So now George can directly trigger runs from the other agents when needed, but he also knows all about LoadMagic and JMeter, so we can say things like, "Hi George, can you tell us how to use LoadMagic, please?" See what he says. So he should come back with some steps. And let's see what he says. So yes, he's come back with configure API key, import the har, so we've done all of that. Perform correlation, easiest, go to the Correlate tab and use, click the green button here, which we could do, or we could just say, "Thanks George, can you correlate this test plan please?" And let's see what he will do. And what he's done is he's sent it to Carrie, the correlation specialist. So there you go, there's an example of teamwork between the agents, and they can all do that. So Carrie herself will trigger Rupert, the regular expression specialist. So what happened just there is we've had one call to AI, she's come back with an assessment, she's decided it is a correlation problem, and she's going to deal with it. So if she decides it's not a correlation problem, she can send it back to George, and George has various capabilities to do all kinds of things, including deep dive investigation, or he can mutate by fully rearranging the test plan. And we'll have a look at that hopefully at the end. George is our last line of defense when things go wrong. So what's happening is she's identified some correlation candidates. So still off that one call to AI, when I'm going through the candidates and correlating them. So we're wiring up that predictive correlation that happened on import, we're now wiring up into the tool test plan. So you can see some JSON path extractors have been inserted, and from one request from George, we're now fully going to try and correlate the test plan. So this is now a second run, and you can see it's getting further, so there's fewer errors. So those JSON extractors are doing their job. This is the second call to AI, and actually there's now been a third call to AI. So what happened on this one is Carrie's identified it as requiring a regular expression. So rather than do it herself, she's passed it to Rupert, and Rupert's come back with setting some boundaries and defining a regular expression, which now has been used, inserted, and replaced. And you can see we've triggered a final validation run to get us to a fully correlated and validated script, which is the final sort of loop in the flow. So we don't just wire it up, we predict, we wire it up, and then we validate. So we're now in what I've been calling a golden state. We have self-healing capabilities in the correlation. So if, for example, I accidentally deleted an extractor, let's just clear some of the stuff. So that will generate an error now because we've broken the correlation. And so now what should happen is, because we knew what the golden state looks like, we can instantly get back to it when something goes wrong. Or, slight lie, we can instantly recover a fair number of scenarios, and there might be some we can't. And when we can't, then we would so we're doing that without AI. But when we can't do it without AI, we would still escalate back to George, who then has full capabilities to investigate and will fix. So try breaking it in a different way. So now there's still an extractor there, but it will not find the path because I've broken the path. So yeah, there you go. So it's been fixed. So again, that's without AI. So self-healing now without AI makes it cheaper and faster. So let's try a similar thing for the regex. So I've broken the expression. So that means again it should produce a not found result, and it's tried to fix, and yeah, there you go, it's fixed it. So again, without AI. I mean, there's other things we can do which should auto heal. So for example, if I put in a completely weirdly made up sort of server address, which is definitely not going to work, that should also self-heal, and it should do it also without AI. So it's looking at the sampler now, not just the extractors. So yeah, there you go. So a little bit more than just correlation healing. It's the golden state of the test plan itself. So again, without AI. Now, okay, here's an edge case. This one I know it won't be able to fix automatically. Hopefully this should demonstrate the escalation mechanism. So deliberately generated one that I know can't self-heal without AI. So now what's happened is it's been escalated. Tried to do the same thing, didn't work, same error, same place. So it assumed, okay, I can't do it, give it to AI. So now George has been given the error context, and he should come back with hopefully a fix. We'll see. And it looks like he has fixed it. So what happened there is he's gone a little bit all out with the fix because he's kind of overdone it a bit, but that's good because so what he's done is he's re-enabled everything that he saw as disabled. He didn't really need to re-enable all of those things, but yeah, based on his sort of view, he took the correct action, and so that action is fully reversible. So if the user decides, you know what, I don't want to do that, you can just cancel it, and there you go. So it's re-disabled the stuff that he enabled. So human in the loop. The AI will try its best to fix up until conclusion. It will completely fix it, but it should always fix it in a way that is reversible, where as much as possible. So then, the engineer or the specialist, can then make a decision. Yeah, I'm happy with that change. I'll keep it, or in this case, I reversed it, which not smart because it breaks what I wanted to demonstrate. You can reverse everything. So yeah, so that's George. So you can see he can also trigger Quinn. So if we said so, Quinn's our QA, sort of test plan QA specialist agent, and she's mostly code, and she's had some improvements recently. So yeah, George could do this, but I was here, just easier to just run from here. So yeah, we've had a movie for Quinn before, and her capabilities have been slightly enhanced now, so she can also validate a few extra things she wasn't doing before. So she can still collaborate with Susie. This is quite cool. I quite like this one. So Susie is our scripting agent. It generates code from text. And so what's happened there is Quinn has identified some values that are hard-coded, and she thinks it's probably better for them not to be, to recreate a more realistic test plan. So that's one of the sort of criteria that she's checking for, that there's realism. So what happened there is she sent it to Susie, the scripting agent, who generated a script to randomize that hard-coded bit of data. So if we look at that step, it's step 006. So she inserts the script just before the step, and she's saving to a variable. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Can't find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, logging shipping preference. So and there you have it. So if we play this back, let's see if it works. She doesn't always get it right. She didn't get it right, but that's okay because she should be able to fix her own mistakes. So there you go. So she fixed it. How to go fix it? So in the spirit of everything's reversible, human in the loop. So what she's done is she's disabled the original and reinserted her fix, inserted a new version, a fixed version. So let's see if it works. There you go. So it works. It's self-healed. So yeah, she's pretty good at self-healing. Again, completely no coding from my part. All just automatic. And so if we're going back to the QA report, we could just ask for all those things to be fixed, and then it will just go through one at a time, cycle through hopefully, and it's going to create a few scripts there. I'm regretting I haven't done that now. It's going to take a little while. But anyway, so you can see them going in one at a time, and then we can also create an exportable report, and we've already seen this from Quinn. But yeah, just to illustrate the sort of the improvements and the teamwork now between all the agents. So you've got Carrie doing the correlation, working with Rupert. You've got George working with all of them, and Carrie escalating back to George when things are going wrong. So yeah, we probably should have a quick look at. Well, we've seen Susie in action. So she can generate code from text, and she can convert. That's quite a useful one I found when you're converting from another tool. So JavaScript, you would just paste your JavaScript in here, and then fix. We just saw that in action. But let's try generate. So if we go generate a random first and last name, this is my favorite. Let me know in the comments if you want me to try something else next time. So she'll just insert wherever we're at in the test plan. Just happen to be at that point. But if I put it up there, and we can insert a debug sampler, because it's not actually being used anywhere, but we can see in the debug sampler whether the variables are being generated. So, oh yeah, let me stop because she's inserted think time. So this is another improvement. We used to have like fixed think time. Now it's been randomized, which makes it a little bit more realistic. Obviously that's all configurable, but that, yeah, it's something that Quinn automatically inserted. So everything's green, which is good. If we look at the debug sample, we should see, yeah, there you go, first name and last name. So there you go. all sort of randomized, and it's now passing, so no more issues. So we've got a healthy looking script, and there are certain aspects of the script which are probably still subjective depending on the situation. So those things, obviously, it's harder for us to QA because that still requires a sort of human specialist to make those sort of judgment calls. But everything that we can, we're sort of automatically verifying. So we've done all the agents. I think that just about does it. Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye.